Hey, it's Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. It's that time again. A new season, a new Prestige Cup car, and new attempts to pull for it. Now, Natural Motion screwed up today a little bit. I don't know how I'd want to put that. Maybe they forgot. Maybe the system just was a little delayed. But bottom line is, I didn't see this times 10 until just now. So, it's still Friday, so it's still good. For those who care, it is 7:39 p.m. where I am, and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start polling. Now, some seasons I get the car in one poll. Many seasons it takes quite a few. Now, this is a 5-star car. If we look at statistical probability based on the way the game is set up, a 5-star car is one of those rare polls, no matter how you look at it. Even with the times 10 chance, it probably doesn't help us that much. But I'm going to pull it on this account, I'm going to pull it on my other account, and let's see how many it takes. Maybe it'll take me 15 this time. Maybe it will take 5. But we're going to run through the keys and see what happens. Now, the 1-star, one after the other, is definitely not a good sign. Definitely not. I'm not going to stress about it. If I were polling normally without recording, what I would do is if I poll 3 1-stars or more, usually on the 3rd or 4th, I'll just stop. I'll stop polling because obviously it's not a good time to be doing this. You may want to wait an hour or two, may even wait a day or two. Try to find a time when you feel a little better. Maybe you're just not lucky at this moment. You all know that some days nothing goes right and other days things seems to all go your way. Obviously this season it's not going to be a single poll, but in all honesty I already have the car, so it's not like it's really something I'm desperate for. However, extra car possibly means extra parts and also possibly a nice color, so I am polling mostly for that. Just to have something different as far as look goes. Okay, plus I have enough keys to burn that really it's not that stressful. Now, if you don't have 750 keys, it will be stressful because when you see 3, 4 1-star cars and that's all the keys you got, it's going to be a very unpleasant experience. I always recommend everyone to save up at least 750 silver keys a season. You can do that relatively easily, and you can go ahead and just, kind of roll with the punches at that point. Worst case is you spend all 750. Now, I'm 4 polls into this and it hasn't looked very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here on this account, switch over to the other account and start polling there. Give this one a break while I poll on that one. Then I'm going to come back to this one. So let's take a look, see how it looks on the other account right now when I try to poll keys, because I have 3 1-stars out of 4 polls. It could be that time of the day where my luck is just down, and I don't think I'm going to just keep wasting keys one after the other out of frustration. Rather, I'm going to go try my other account and see if things are different. So hang tight while we switch over to the other one. Alright, after the beatdown I just got on the other account for 4 polls in a row, 3 of which are 1-stars, it's time to see if it makes a difference if I'm polling on a different account. Obviously, if I'm not going to have any luck, I'm not going to have any luck anyway. The other thing is, maybe the time 10 isn't working. Oh man, another 1-star. This is not the time of day for me to be polling cars. But let's see at least 3 or 4 polls, then we'll jump back and forth. And if worst comes to worst, it might be 15 to get that car. Well, to get the extra car in my case, but still, we'll go back and take a look at all the cars that end up getting pulled and kind of see where things go. As you can see, this account has a lot less silver keys, but still it is well buffered as far as getting through 750, so I don't have much of a problem there. Second poll is a 3-star. Not really that great, but hey, it's a 3-star. Let's see what it is. Chances are I already have it. Yeah, so that's going to be a strip later for parts. I'll keep it for now. Again, 5-star car, right? That's the key you have to understand. If it was a 3-star, 4-star car, that doesn't make it easier to pull, but statistically it should be. In the case of a 5-star car, if you look at the information, it says 2% chance generally. Now, time 10, and I have to say, I've said this multiple times, time 10 does not mean you have a 20% chance. If it was 20% chance, most of us would get the car statistically in about 5-10 polls for sure. I suspect the chances are it's 10 times the chance of you getting the Juke when you get the 5-star car, maybe with a slight bump in the overall percentage, but I really doubt you'll have a 20% chance of getting this car overall. But 2% is also extremely low. That means if it was really 2% and they didn't even adjust for it, and they just threw a time 10 on the screen without giving you anything, the chance of you getting one in 15 polls would be slim to none for most players. That means if we look at the span of, like, let's say 100 players, only 1 or 2 out of 100 potentially would get the car in one poll. All the rest of us is going to take at least 10-15 polls to get it. Now, so far the drops are terrible. I'm up to 4 on this one, and also mostly 1-stars. Did Natural Motion actually put the time 10 in properly? I don't know. Is it just that time of the day because it's just not my lucky day today? It could be that. Every season's been different, but I'm going to pull a few more on here, then we'll switch back to the other account and see what happens. Oh, well, there's a 4-star there. So that's looking up. But again, a 5-star, it's just going to be a lot harder to get. Okay. This looks like, which Porsche is this? This is a T5, I think. 911 GT3. And I have it already. So that's a pretty blue, but I have the car already. Porsches I don't tend to build a lot, simply because Fusions are hard to come by. So I collect them, but I don't really build most of them. Okay, so that one didn't look too bad. Let's see if we get another 1-star. We're going to move up to a... bounce back to a 3. It's not that great. 3, I'll live with it, but most 3-stars won't be very useful. And this one is something I already have. Again, strip for parts later. Let's keep going here. So 5-star car, much harder to pull. And guess what? Next season, another 5-star car. Also T4, the Z28. Now that's an older car too, so it's actually not nearly as good as far as top performance times as the better T4s that we're getting now, like the Evora, like even the Juke, in comparison. But we're stuck with it as a PC car next season, so you're gonna have to go through this again with 5-star car, trying to pull for it. I'm sure that's gonna be a somewhat miserable experience for a lot of people. So again, save those keys. You're probably gonna need them. SVR Coupe. I don't even get excited that much for 4-star cars most of the time. I am missing quite a few, but it's just not that exciting for the most part to get most of these cars. 3-stars almost invariably are strip for parts type things for me, and then it's only the 5-stars that would really be interesting for the most part. So okay, that's another completely useless car at this point. Bentley Continental GT Speed just isn't really viable or competitive for almost anything in the game at this point. Plus it's hard to build, so it's basically a dust collector or a strip part. Alright, so we're going back to 1-star. Now I am basically almost what are we at now? 9 polls on this account in a row. Now, not to say I didn't get some decent cars, right? But that 5-star's been elusive completely so far. You have to understand that getting a 5-star car out of even a time 10 isn't that great a chance. It's almost the same thing when you go for gold keys with that time 20. Many people will find that they're going to end up going to loyalty before they get the car. Let's get to 10. Let's go back and pull on the other account for 6. Then we'll jump back and finish both if needed. So right now this is going back to sloppy 1s. So I'm going to kind of stop it here after this delivery, and then I'll switch to my main account, see if I can get a little better luck. I may even take a break, say half an hour, come back, and then repull. Again, you don't have to pull straight through. Don't get angry and keep pulling just because. And also, don't get into the fallacy of thinking, if I had 6 1-star cars, I must now get something better. It doesn't work that way. You can get 15 1-star cars if you're just unlucky. Now, probability says it's unlikely that'll happen, but it doesn't mean it cannot happen. So keep that in mind. On the other hand, you could get 3 5-stars in a row. That's possible too, or even 5 in a row. Very, very slim chance of that ever happening, but it's not impossible. That's what statistic probability is. It's weird like that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gambling casinos making millions off of us, right? Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to jump back to the other account, and then let's do a few more polls, and then I'm going to leave the other 5. If I still have no luck, the last 5 on each account, I'm going to wait an hour, and then I'll come back and pull it. Okay, so right back to the main. I'm going to finish 6 polls here, and keeping my fingers crossed. If I get the car, I get the car. If not, what I'll do is I'll wait a little bit, then I'm going to do the last 5 on each account at that point. So far, things are still looking pretty grim with more 1-star polls. So again, this is not my season now for getting the PC car in 1 poll, right? You see me do it in the past. This one, it's just not happening. Now, but either account, I'm doing it on 2 accounts. So I'm actually taking double dips here on chances. But for a 5-star car, even with the time 10, it just isn't looking that simple. And I'm getting more 1-stars than I'm getting any other type for this season. And that can be very frustrating and very disappointing. And almost always 1-star cars, for the most part, will be parts cars on any of my accounts at this point. Okay. All right. Let me see. We're at 6. So I get 4 more attempts, and then I'm going to go ahead and take a break for an hour and come back and try to pull again. Oh, I'm moving up in life. 2 stars. Yes. Every little bit counts, right? Every extra star makes you feel a little bit happier. But of course, 2-star cars generally are not that useful. And I get one of the slowest ones in the game. This used to be a great T3, but after they nerfed it, it's now one of the worst T3s. Okay. 7. Come on. Let's go. Give me something good. Help me out here, Donna. I know you won't, but it's always fun to ask. Okay. 3-star. So I went from 1 to 2 to 3. And then either you go to 4 or 5 or you go back to 1. So let's see what this car is. Oh, this isn't bad. I already have it. But Honda Civic Type R is actually a good T2 to get. Again, another car that takes a lot of work to get fully fusion because Honda Fusions. Also stage 6s. Once you get to tier 2, everything has stage 6. So getting 7 stage 6s for any specific T2 is really hard. You could strip 30 T2s and not get 1 stage 6. Well, I shouldn't say it's not usually that bad, but you may not get more than 1 or 2 stage 6 out of stripping 10 or 15 of them. Okay, back to 1 star. So it's ebbing and flowing, but not cresting over to the wonderful 5-star that we're looking for. So that is another BMW. Lots of BMW parts now lined up in my garage, and we're at 9. I'm gonna go ahead and poll for that 10, and let's see what happens if I take a break and then come back in an hour or so to try to finish up. Okay, so 10 polls. This has been a miserable streak on both accounts. Mostly 1s on this one and 2 4-stars on the other one, but nothing good. Is this surprising? Not really. I usually anticipate my polls to be more like this than what I've been having the past few seasons. So let's go ahead and take a break. I'm going to give it a little time, and then I'll come back and make the polls, and let's see if, in fact, I'll be stuck going to 15 on both accounts just to get 1 new Juke-R. All right. I'll be back in an hour, and we'll take a look at how the polls go. All right, it's been about an hour since I last attempted to pull those cars. As you recall, it's pretty bad. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish my last 5. First on my slightly newer account, then going back to hit it on the main account. 2-star car. Could very well go to loyalty on this one because it doesn't look like things look any better. Camaro. Okay. This is the one of the current Showdown cars. Of course, for Showdown, you have to elite it all the way to really have a chance. But I'm not going to be doing that. Okay. Right. What do we get? What do we get? 2-star car again. Okay. Generally speaking, so far, the drop rate's been pretty bad on this 15 polls, but it could just be me, or it could be that Natural Motion put this in last minute and didn't quite tweak the algorithm as much as they should have. Who knows? But it's at least giving me something other than just 1 stars, but of course no 5 stars. So with only 5 polls total, the chance is that I'm going to end up at loyalty. All right, this is also a car I already own. LBM for BMW is actually a good car. It just has been kind of pushed down the list from when it was one of the top cars. As new cars come along, these older cars get pushed down further and further. Okay, going back to 1 star again. Let's see what we get. It's probably going to be something miserable. Well, yeah. Juke-R, not unexpected. I do need some Juke-R stage 6s, so maybe I'll get lucky on that at least. Okay, so here we go. If this one's not a 5 star, it's going right to loyalty. And it's not. 1 star again. So this time, all 15 polls, I would say a good half is 1 star, and the rest are splatters of 2, 3, and 4 stars. And this account so far actually is doing better than my other account, which also has 5 left. So let's see what happens there. Loyalty poll for the Juke. Hopefully it's not the same color as the milestone, but we'll see. And it is red. Okay. Well, it's a different look at least. The black, the kind of like, with the flat black is not a bad look. This is okay. This car is kind of ugly, so no matter how you change the color, you can only make it look better by so much, so to speak. Okay, let's jump over to the other account and take a look at that one now, and see how the last 5 poll goes on that. Okay, so back to this account. This is my main, and it also has 5 polls left before hitting loyalty. Let's see how this plays out. Based on what I've seen so far, I don't really expect much. It's highly unlikely I'm going to get a 5-star poll out of these 5 polls, but if it happens, it happens. Again, is it just me, or is it the season, or is it the way that it's a 5-star car, therefore it's harder? We don't really know. I mean, over time, what I found, of course, is that polling for 5-star cars, you always end up having a harder time. That doesn't mean that I haven't had 5-star cars poll on the first try, but over the past years of polling, I've found in general, if the car is a 5-star for PC Cup, it's going to more than likely burn up more keys than if it was a, say, 4-star, which seems to come out more often. However, I've also had bad experiences with 3-star PC cars being really difficult. Not that I couldn't get the 3-star polls, but I keep getting trolled with cars that are other 3 stars and not the PC car. Okay, now for me, really, the reality is if I pull a 5-star car, I would rather Donna troll me and give me something else, simply because I already have the PC car. If something else comes along that's a 5-star, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. However, as you can see, that's not going to happen. It's probably going to go to loyalty, and therefore I'm definitely getting a Juke. Now the question is, what color? All right. More than likely, I'm going to end up having to strip the new Juke because I already built the old one, and I'm not going to change course and then rebuild a whole new Juke just to have a better color, although I do have the money. We'll have to see. If it's a really lovely color, maybe I will keep it. And then build this one and then transfer parts. Fortunately, I don't have that many stage 6s yet. I only have 1, so it only cost me probably 1,200 gold to transfer versus if I had to transfer 7 of them. All right, so 1 star, 3 star, 2 star, nothing to write home about, mostly junk. Again, we'll take a look at them, but I'm going to end up stripping them all anyway. None of these are going to be keepers at this point. Okay, so again, going to loyalty on this one as well, it looks like, which is not great. I mean, this is 1,500 silver keys pulled between 2 accounts, and I don't really have anything that's a keeper out of all 1,500 keys spent. So this season is definitely a bit of a downer compared to past seasons. All right, this is actually a good car, but um, it's still going to be stripped because I already have it. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Loyalty. Now it's just a matter of color. Um, Deliver it, see what color we get. It could be red again. I don't know how many colors there are, to be honest. I'm hoping there are more than just red. Oh, and it's even uh, less pleasant colors for me. I don't really care much for silver or gray. Although this color, this silver, well, actually, you know what? I take that back. This car looks okay in silver. I mean, it's like a shiny turd. It's not bad. I could deal with that. Um, is it a keeper? Probably not. Am I going to waste another 750 keys at this point to try to pull another one? No. At this point, what I think I'm going to do is actually crank out live races for more bronze keys, and then when the parts crates become available, I'm just going to pull that to max out the juke if needed. But let's take a look at the wonderful list of junk that I pulled this season. So you have, not yet. So we got a nice silver one, and I got a red one on the other account. Although the silver actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, I'll be honest. Not great. The car's not going to get prettier no matter what color it is, but it's not terrible, I guess. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one of the worst T5s. I mean, it's an interesting color combo, but I already have it. So again, nothing here worth keeping. All this is going to go right to the scrap pile as far as parts are concerned. Even some of these other stuff that I have from before, you know, here's another duplicate, and here's a C63 from last season. So again, nothing really worth keeping in these two garages. So I'm just going to go ahead and spend some time clearing these out. I've been having a lot of lag issues, and maybe it'll be good for me to reduce my garage count. This way I could move around, scroll around a lot faster too. In any case, it's a pretty rough pull, series of pulls this season. Again, I don't use any system, so I don't really look into it too much, other than I generally see that 5-star cars are just harder to pull. Are you going to have the same bad luck? Probably not. Hopefully not. For every one of us that pull 15, somebody out there is going to probably post on my channel saying I got it on the first pull. So understand that is random. That's how it works. And, you know, don't get too caught up in the idea that somehow you're just the ones getting screwed. It is what it is. Sometimes it just doesn't work out in your favor. Sometimes you get it on the first pull. Again, the system is 750 silver keys will guarantee you the car. This way, you never have to stress any season. Hey, thanks for joining me. This is kind of a long one because I ended up pulling 15 polls on 2 accounts. And, you know, nothing really worthwhile to celebrate about either. But let me know how you fared this season. I'm doing these videos every season because I kind of want to document my polling and results. Because if it's really random, I should have seasons like this, as well as seasons like the last few where things went relatively smoothly. Next season's another 5-star, so we're going to pull again and see what happens. Maybe I'll get lucky. So let's see. And maybe compare notes over time and see how this works out on average, because that's what really is important. Once again, thank you for joining me, and feel free to comment on the video. If you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.